Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol OPTT. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually just today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like you this time frame. I think does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price, and just makes mapping out levels of support or resistance a bit easier to see. For those of you that watched the video yesterday, I talked about this one just being a pump and dump. And, if it wasn't already a pump and dump at that point, just confirmation that all this was a pump and dump, to think that not that long ago, the price had actually been all the way up there. And now the gap down, it's all the way down there. So yeah, pump and dump without question. But, and I realize this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have traded for a while out there. If you have traded for a while, you know that, stocks that get really beat up, stocks that get really hammered, which this thing is getting really beat up, they can produce some very interesting bounces. Now, I'm not saying that just because this one's gotten beat up and it's starting to go sideways that tomorrow this thing's going to be at $5. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying from a setup perspective, it's worth keeping an eye on. What do I mean by setup? Well, you can see that today the price actually, after it gapped down and put in a low right there, its next set of lows was a little bit higher. Now, again, I really wish the market was as easy as saying, well, just because it got beat up and now it put in a higher low, it's guaranteed to go up to $3. Not saying that. The point here is it started to build some higher lows. So is this setting up for maybe even just some sort of dead cat bounce? That remains to be seen, but there's no doubt about it. The price did absorb the selling. Again, for those of you that have traded for a while, I'm sure you've seen stocks that gap down, and then after the gap down, the price just keeps on bleeding and bleeding and bleeding the remainder of the day. But that wasn't the case here, as we've discussed. It went sideways. Not only did it go sideways, it put in some of those higher lows. So is this the start of something bigger? We shall see. If it is the start of something bigger, then the key area of resistance that's going to need to be broken in order to kind of open up the floodgates and potentially create a bigger size bounce is going to be that area of resistance right there. And that sits at $1.52. I realize it's kind of hard to see this stuff, but don't blame me. Blame the pump and dump because of all this, it's just created the it's thrown off all the proportions and stuff. So I realize it's hard to see, like I said, but that just kind of comes with the territory. So is this some sort of dead cat bounce, worthwhile bounce coming? I don't know, but this stock has made crazy moves in the past, so we'll see if a new bounce is coming around or not. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.